You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and I haven't said that in a long time.
Oh, one take, Neal, back in the studio.
But as far as you are all aware, it's been 1 week.
It's just been 1 week.
Yeah, it's been.
Don't do that.
Don't tease the fans.
That.
Better him than me.
But it's been a summer break.
Yeah.
I did nothing. Did anyone do anything? Oh, I maybe moved across the country.
You moved across. You're moving across country, and
I'm in the process. I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
Right. We have the shipping updates that we're getting by text and says you're in Indiana.
He's in a crate in the back of a semi-truck. Well, he's recording from one of those U-ship containers or whatever.
Yeah. Fragile.
I went to Yosemite.
That's right. You went to Yosemite. How was that?
It was great. Saw some mountains.
Yeah, some mountains. What else is at Yosemite? Hiking, mountains. What else you got over there?
Yogi Bear?
Bears?
Yeah.
Some water, bodies of water.
Okay.
All kinds of stuff. Trees, big trees.
Human bodies?
Not that I saw. But
that's probably good.
They're buried well.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say I wasn't really up to much this summer, but I remembered that we adopted a rescue puppy, so that's been fun.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And you went to Nashville? Yeah. Yeah, had a weekend in Nashville that wasn't a vacation. It is a lovely town. But
did you buy any boots?
I did not.
You're missing out.
I don't like walking. And I've heard that the boots are made for walking, so.
You did get a cowboy hat, though, because you're wearing it in the studio today.
And that's it.
Yeehaw.
A visual for the fans at home.
Just the boots and the cowboy hat.
Gross.
Yeah, that's all he's wearing, yeah. And I was in Austin, Texas. I was shooting a movie for a month, and that went well. It was just 103 every day, so it was something to get used to.
And wildfires, I saw.
And there's a wildfire on really close to our set, so that was
gender
interesting.
reveal party gone wrong.
Yeah, all the really young PAs were freaking out, and we're like, just it's okay, we'll be fine.
Fire on set is normal. These kids, they just don't get it.
We need to shoot today. Don't tell the actors. But no, it was a great time. So
be on the lookout for that movie
when
it comes
summer
out.
recap.
Summer recap. But coming back to the studio, it's been, I guess, behind the scenes about a month and a half. But back to the studio, we have some guests today that we're excited to introduce. We'll start with our host who put together today's game. He reached out after he joined Patreon, and we gave him a nice audio recording, because if you're at a Savage Superstar level like he is, you can request a recording of whatever you want. And he asked us to give him some trivia tips.
That's why I know the name.
Yes.
We did a really weird thing.
We did a weird thing. But he enjoyed it, it seems, or at least he's lying to us. We don't know. But he's coming to us from Ohio, and it is Jack Armstrong, or to us, he is known as Jacked Armstrong. Welcome.
Hey, guys. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Living the dream. Yeah, that was probably the funniest 4 minutes of recording I've ever heard. I still listen. You guys gave me a mantra to deal with at the end. I still listen to the mantra every single day. It's actually just my ringtone to wake up in the morning.
I don't even remember what we said.
What was the mantra? Can you let us know?
It was just to live up to my Jacked Armstrong name and just to constantly, live up to that. And of course, I heard all about 4D wombats and
that one 4D wombat poop.
Oh yeah,
it was the bit's so good it should have made the podcast
that
we
ever had, and it didn't. It was for only one person.
No, we save our good bits for the Patreon supporters.
That's true. So it's like we said, it's like the Wu-Tang album. Like only Jack will be able to hear it for eternity.
Right.
Shall we share just that bit? Do you know what I like? No, that's just for Jack. That's right. Well, I will say the one thing that I really enjoy though is that we told him he needed to live up to his name. That's the best advice you can give, because it doesn't actually imply anything. Like, he could be living up to his name right now.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
So, cheers.
I'll post that clip in Discord for all the Patreon members to hear.
If you choose to share it there, please.
You can mint it as an NFT.
That's
People can purchase it if
bit,
they want
so
to.
Do with it as you please.
And what are you doing in Ohio?
Oh, nothing much. Just moved into a house with my girlfriend.
Congrats.
Otherwise, I'm of, almost 20, so not doing too much with my life so far. Just, working in a warehouse and, enjoying friends and family as it goes.
That's great. Well, we appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to come hang with us.
I know when I was 20, I had neither a house nor a girlfriend. So.
I'd barely gotten my driver's license.
Well, thank you for joining us, Jack. And we have a special guest today who's actually going to be playing with Jeff, and we'll get to their team name in a minute. She's coming to us from Baltimore, Maryland, and she's a Not a Robot supporter on Patreon, which we appreciate. Leann Craumer, how are you doing, Leann?
Hi, great. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, I live in Baltimore, Maryland with my husband and our twin 3-year-old girls who keep us extremely busy. So that's about all I do. I'm a collection development librarian at a public library here in Maryland.
Awesome.
That's great. Thank you for all the work you do with the library. That's really important.
Love the libraries. Support your library.
And Jeff, you're going to partner with Leann today, and I think we talked about your affinity for The Wire, both of you.
We did, yeah. Leann is in Baltimore, and apparently I can't quite see it, but there is a nice picture of Omar Little in the background, which is where he comes from. He's always sneaking up on people, so we're going to be Omar's coming.
Okay, the OC.
The OC, there you go.
Don't call it that.
Baltimore, I can't even... California doesn't work there.
I was like, where are you going with it?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Wait.
And then Ken,
you're singing Hairspray.
You came up with a name for Matt and I who are going to play together based on Jack's last name, Armstrong, and the fact that he's from Ohio.
Yeah, well, we watched First Man, the Neil Armstrong picture yesterday. And then I was prompted to look at Neil Armstrong's Wikipedia. And I found this story about Neil Armstrong's barber of 20 years was selling his hair. So Neil Armstrong sued him to get the hair back. They couldn't recover the hair, so the barber had to donate to a charity of Armstrong's choice.
Donate hair or money?
Money.
Oh.
If they couldn't recover the hair. So why don't you guys be Neil Armstrong's follicles?
Sounds good with me.
That's a crazy story. I'd like to see a movie about that incident alone.
And then Buzz Aldrin comes and punches someone.
Would it have been more interesting than First Man?
No, First Man's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it, but I heard mixed reviews, so...
All right.
Jeff's take. Well, let's...
this has been Jeff's movie reviews.
Let's go to...
I was to say, most of the movies are movies I haven't seen, so it's just, I haven't seen it.
Well, we've been off the air behind the scenes for a while, but we were able to get Idris Elba to do our rules reading today as Omar, so we're going to let him do it.
The rules of the game was simple. He's not Omar, is he?
Is he?
No.
Or is it Michael K. Williams?
Michael Kenneth Williams.
Okay,
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
The game's got to have rules.
We got Idris Elba anyway. I invited him to be Omar.
Sadly, Michael Kenneth Williams is not able to do it anymore.
Oh.
But I'll pour one out for him.
Well, let's hear the rules read, though, and hopefully it won't be a downer.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right, the rules have been said, so it's going to be me and Matt as Neil Armstrong's follicles versus Jeff and Leann Omar's coming. So take it away, Jack.
All right, so like we talked about beforehand, everyone here is probably a little bit older than me, so it's kind of poking fun at that. So round 1, question 1, is the very model of a trivia question. In the 1879 comic opera, The Pirates of Penzance, the classic song known commonly as Modern Major General Stanley is information blank, blank, and blank, which sounds like he is trying to play 20 questions. Full points for 2 of the categories, a bonus 5 for the 3rd area of information.
Do you know it?
I think I know 2 of them.
Well, I know none of them, so I'm not helpful.
Well, yeah, we'll let them talk.
So... Leann, help me out. The only thing I know
think
about
it rhymes.
Okay.
So I was thinking maybe one, and he said 20 questions. So I was thinking maybe one of them might be mineral because that kind of rhymes with general.
Okay.
If you kind of skew it, I know I can hear the phrase in my head, but mostly just the modern major general.
And then the part you need to know.
The 3 categories from 20 questions are animal, vegetable, mineral.
Okay.
Do you think it might be one of those?
I mean, that could be the 3, animal, vegetable, mineral.
Could be.
I'm good with that. That's better than anything I have. The only thing I know about Pirates of Penzance is that song was adapted by Tom Lehrer in 1959 to form the Elements song, a song I know quite well. So the tune is very much in my head, but none of the words.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big... Who was the...
Kelsey Grammer.
No, this was... Neil, help me out. Who did this?
To what?
Who did Pirates of Penzance? This was...
Oh, it's... Oh, geez. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have played today. I am not in it. It's Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yes, Gilbert and Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So those are the two things I know about this. So I'm good going... What was it? Animal, vegetable, mineral?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
That's some confidence over there.
Well, I hope Leann is correct because I had the same three: animal, mineral, vegetable.
And points for both teams. Those are all three, so that's 15 points per team.
That's a great way to start the game.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Indeed.
So for question 2, we have RIP to the OG. Betty White, inarguably a truly beloved American legend, was known for many things in her time. From starring in countless movies, TV shows, and being an overall amazing woman, she even predated some unbelievable things. Something as cutting edge as penicillin, discovered in 1928, Scotch tape in 25, and sliced bread also in 1928. With all of that, when was Betty White born? With 1 point awarded for how close you are within 10 years. So say she was born in 2020, you guess 2010, you get 0 points, working up from there.
I just need math to do the math because I know how old she was when she passed away.
You're so bad at this. Yeah, I can subtract that very easy number.
Okay, so we'll lock in.
Yeah.
I believe she was born January, was it 19th of 2020 or 1922?
1922. Did she die this year?
She died in 21, like the last day of the year. She was almost 100.
And she was 99, right?
Yeah.
She was almost 100.
Yeah, she was born in January of 1922. I just can't remember exactly when. It's like in the tens, teens, something like that. So.
But yeah, I agree because I think she was just shy of 100.
So shall we go January of 1922?
Do we need the date or just the year?
Just the year.
I would still like to go January of 1922.
Okay, pedantic Jeff, great. Yeah, I remember U.S. or People put out a happy 100th birthday Betty White like the week after she died.
Yeah, it was like a little premature.
Yeah,
a little bit
sad.
But yeah, she passed away at 99. She was going to turn 100 January of 2022. So we said 1922.
And we were counting back one by one because we couldn't do the math. And we got to 1922.
Yep, I saw you counting on your fingers for about 5 minutes. So yeah, both the points to both teams exactly on the number. Jeff is even more right because he got her birth month as well.
Don't tell him that. He doesn't need it.
No extra points though.
That's fine.
But yeah, so sliced bread was the greatest thing since Betty White, which is what inspired me to make that question. So in question number 3, this is not a chemistry question. In the hit 90s show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith's Uncle Phil is a judge and senior partner at a law firm with a name based off a popular 70s R&B and funk band. Points for the name of the band, bonus 5 for the name of the firm he works for.
The only thing I'm fixating on is that he said it's not a chemistry question. So I'm trying to think if there's any bands I can think of that might have a chemistry angle. Funk,
like an Element, maybe?
Yeah, it could be. Probably not Earth, Wind, Fire. They didn't really do funk. Yeah, I think we can tap out. I'm just failing to remember this. I mean, I watched Fresh Prince a bit as a kid, but I don't remember this.
Yeah.
So you guys were trying to crack the element
angle. Yeah.
I wasn't quite
We're
working.
just not coming up with anything.
We went with the R&B/funk angle, and Matt wrote down some band names. We were like, which one could sound like an actual person's name?
Yeah, we went with Sly and the Family Stone and the law firm of Sly and Stone, but I'm not 100% sure.
So that's a good guess. And Jeff, you talked yourself out of it. It actually was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, no.
Why didn't we just say it?
I was going to do not an Avatar question, but I didn't know how many people would get that. But the law firm was Firth, Wynn, and Meyer was the law firm they worked for. Yeah. So question number 4 is a link to the way past. The Legend of Zelda, arguably my favorite video game series of all time, first was introduced to the market in 1986. However, until the third installment of the game, the Japanese version of the game fell underneath a different translation. The name was eventually changed to not be confused with another of their games, Final Fantasy. What was the original name of the Japanese copy of the game?
Leann, you a big fan of the original Legend of Zelda?
No.
I'm trying to think of what words might sound like Final Fantasy. Ultimate Dreamscape.
Not a bad guess.
No. I mean, and translations from Japanese tend to be kind of weird anyways because they don't necessarily have direct parallels. But I don't know. You want to just put that in as a joke? Last time I thought we should have...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we just tapped out for no points. So
For no reason,
we'll
but we
just
had the
guess
answer.
Ultimate Dreamscape.
Ultimate Dreamscape?
Okay.
Ultimate as in final.
So Final Fantasy got its name because Square, the producer who made the game, was going bankrupt, and it was going to be their last game if it was a fail. So they named it Final Fantasy. I don't know how this would play into what this is, but we just went with the fantasy element and the Legend of Zelda and said Fantasy Legend.
So both you guys were kind of close, but it was actually the Hyrule Fantasy. Fantasy was actually in there. You know, Hyrule's where Legend of Zelda is based off of. It was a very literal translation. They eventually changed it to not, coincide with Final Fantasy. Hopefully the easiest one that's on this one. Question 5, a truly magical question. Magic the Gathering, a still popular trading card game released in 1993, has had its fair share of extremely expensive pieces of cardboard. Some of the most prevalent released in the first few years, commonly called the Power 9. Of these 9 cards, 5 are part of the original Mox blank cards, with the blank being filled in by various precious gems, 4 of which being birthstones. For 2 points apiece, name the 5 box cards.
Oh, Jeff's got
10
one.
Leann, we're
points for
good.
Jeff.
Yeah.
So we just
great.
need to name birthstones,
I don't know.
right?
I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
These are the very expensive cards.
I happen to know all of the Moxen.
So the cards are Mox blank. There's 5 of them,
I'll give you the...
and they're all
Stones.
or gems.
Oh, okay. All right.
4 of them are birthstones. One's just a precious gem.
All right,
so let's just name some birthstones.
Yeah, which ones sound like they'd be in Magic? Like Sapphire,
Sapphire, definitely.
Emerald.
Okay, start writing them down. What do we got? Sapphire. We got Emerald. We got
Ruby.
Ruby. That's a good one. What about
Remember the? Can I give them a hint, Jeff? Is that okay?
Amethyst?
They're doing fine without it.
Think about the colors.
I don't want to think
Magic
about the
Gathering.
colors. Oh, we got some white. We got some.
Yeah. What's white? Diamond? No.
Maybe there's a diamond. Throw the diamond in there.
Diamond.
And we got to do one more, right?
Diamond,
Let's
Ruby.
do it. One's not a birthstone.
Oh, right. So we got
So let's
Sapphire's
say-
blue, Emerald's green, Ruby's red, Diamond's white, and green. Green we already got, right? Yeah, Emerald.
Yeah.
Well, I know Lotus is expensive, but I don't think it's in this pack.
I think White Lotus is a very expensive card.
No, we'll just say White Lotus.
You're
I don't know.
raising Jeff's blood pressure right now.
My blood pressure hasn't changed at all.
I don't believe that.
All right, so what do you got?
Sapphire, Emerald, Ruby, Diamond, White Lotus.
They sound like
Pretty
different
good.
Pokemon
So
games.
you actually named 4 Magic cards in there. Mox Diamond is a Mox card, but it's not considered the original Power 9. So your colors being white, blue, black, red, green. You would have Mox Pearl, Mox Jet are your white and black, and then you were all correct. Mox Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby are all also correct. So
Yeah, Jeff couldn't have explained it better than I did. Yeah, it's Mox Sapphire, Mox Ruby, Mox Pearl, Mox Jet, and Mox Emerald. You guys really talked yourself into 3 of those with some great reasoning. It's the Black Lotus, not the White Lotus. I don't know if White Lotus is actually a thing, but as far as I know, Black Lotus is the only popular Lotus.
Mox Lotus, I believe, was an unset card, but like a joke card that they made.
Leann, you picked the right partner for this game.
She bailed me out of the first one.
Well, so far both teams doing pretty well in this game. 35 points for the OC, Omar's coming, and Neil Armstrong's Follicles, 31 points. So hot on the tail.
Hey, right there.
On that note, I think it's because I was actually born in the 1880s, which is why I'm doing well.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah. All right, so for question number 6, the King of Pop. Michael Jackson, a name that needs no introduction, did his fair share of selling out throughout his career. However, not all of them went well. The King of Pop was almost metaphorically dethroned when his hair caught fire doing a commercial for which soft drink company?
I remember this now.
Now you're in
Now
Neil's
we're in.
wheelhouse.
We'll lock in over here.
From that movie. I forget which one it is. They reenacted this pretty.
It's pretty,
disgusting. His face melts.
I could make some guesses, but I don't know this story. So if
Okay.
you're more familiar,
I'm trying to think of what soft drink would be extreme, and I don't think he was signed up on the Red Bull wagon.
Surge.
But
too early.
Bull
Right?
gives you wings.
but I could see like a Mountain Dew stunt gone awry.
I could see that. Was Mountain Dew around then? I don't know when it.
Oh,
came
very
out.
much so.
100%.
I've been
Yeah.
drinking that since I was a wee lad.
I'm fine
In
with
the
that. If you are.
1930s.
Just a bottle of Mountain Dew.
Hands me my dude.
Mixing it with whiskey as it was intended.
That's true. We learned that on this show.
That's why my growth got stunted.
So you're going Mountain Dew?
Leann, I don't know. I don't remember this incident at all. Doesn't seem like we've got a
Yeah.
better guess. So
I mean, it probably. I don't know. I mean, I would say it's probably not like Coke or Pepsi, just because I feel like it's not one of those like the big ones. So I
Yeah.
feel like something like Mountain Dew is. I think that's a good
those
answer.
those two are trying to heal the world. Mountain Dew's just trying to set stuff on fire. So
Matt and I remember this when it happened. I remember seeing the video many times. And it is related to Mountain Dew because it's Mountain Dew's parent company. We went with Pepsi.
really,
Yeah, Pepsi's correct. The story goes, as far as I believe, he just leaned back into a sign too far. His hair caught fire, and he wasn't aware of it until a producer came and tackled him to the ground because he just kept dancing with his hair on fire.
Mm-hmm. Melted his first face.
Yep.
So question 7 is Triviality's high school years. Certain inventions and discoveries changed humanity forever, anywhere from something as simple and old as the wheel to as new and complex as bullet trains. One such revolutionary discovery was in the 9th century CE. I'm sure everyone here remembers this in the headlines. The discovery of gunpowder. It is believed to have been discovered by Chinese monks. What were they trying to create when they accidentally discovered it?
I really don't know. I'm trying to think of what monks would be doing. The only things I could think of were like writing, like trying to do some sort of like writing or something with tea. Those were the 2 things I came up with.
I'm trying to think about what the process is for making gunpowder. So there's like saltpeter or something in there, and there's whatever that thing we made a joke of for a while, but the word is escaping me.
Potash?
Potash.
Potash.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saltpeter, a guy who like always eats too much salt and he's kind of like swollen. I'm sorry, guys. I just love pizza.
No, I always imagine saltpeter was just kind of the guy who was up playing on tilt his whole life. Like every time he was in a board game, he'd start to fall behind and he'd get like, this game is stupid. That's saltpeter.
Salty Peter.
Do you think they could have been trying to like preserve food, like preserve meats or something?
Maybe. I mean, I think they were. I don't know if they were trying to make fireworks. Maybe candles.
Candles,
Maybe get candles to burn longer or something, and then it's like, well, crap, this didn't go as planned.
Lighting for inside. Yeah.
Candles?
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom with a candle and it just explodes.
It's terrifying.
I mean, usually when I go to the bathroom with a candle, there's an explosion.
I mean, if you're constipated, it's the best way to get scared. So.
Oh my God, guys! Family
What
show.
do you guys think?
Maybe.
I wish I knew. I mean, do you want to guess the fireworks angle, or do you want to guess something that like monks would be trying to do, like make incense or candles or something?
Candles.
Okay, we're gonna say they were trying to make a better burning candle.
We went with tea. We don't know.
Can I take a guess here? Were they doing
Yeah, go ahead.
alchemy and trying to make gold?
Close. They were trying to make the elixir of life. They were trying to figure out how to preserve their lives forever, and ended up making the deadliest thing from the nuke.
Wow.
Instead, they invented irony. Wonderful.
TNT didn't get invented for another 10 centuries. So.
Yeah, tea. What an explosive flavor, though, if you put gunpowder in tea.
Those old monk hijinks that we don't know about.
Gunpowder tea sounds like something they'd sell you on like a YouTube ad.
There is such a thing. It's gunpowder tea is rolled tea leaves.
Oh, okay.
Good job.
Or
Ken.
something like that.
All right, so question number 8 is special to my heart. Dragonheart, a film made in 1996, is an often forgotten gem of the 90s, with the main character being played by Dennis Quaid and being directed by Rob Cohen. This movie has no shortage of big names to star in this movie, including the voice of Draco the Dragon. Who plays Draco, the same actor of Professor Henry Jones and Indiana Jones in the original James Bond?
Oh.
We can lock in.
If it's the original James Bond, I believe that would be Sean Connery, right?
Yes.
He was
Yeah.
also in Indiana Jones. He was the dad or whatever. So
Yeah, I agree.
okay, we're gonna lock in Sean Connery.
I think Neal locked in early on this one, right?
I did. Yeah. We also said Sean Connery.
Cool. I'm glad that was a slam dunk. Yeah, Sean Connery in my favorite movie as a kid. I have no idea why. It
Was it the
an
only
awful
movie you had?
Yeah, I had the VHS of Dragonheart, and it was the worst movie I've ever seen, but I loved it.
Oh, that happened to me with Richie Rich.
Oh, Richie Rich, yeah.
That was my favorite movie.
I think you're going to say
no
Blank
reason.
Check.
Oh, I also had Blank Check.
That movie's creepy.
Wore that one out.
Like a 30-year-old kisses a kid.
Yeah.
That's why he loves kissing women who are 20 years older than him.
Let's move on.
He named the dog Indiana.
All right, on to question 9. A monster MASH. MASH, first appearing on screens around the world in 1972, was nothing short of legendary. With 255 episodes over 11 seasons, it was a hit with fans worldwide. This was reflected by the finale of the show, with it being the most watched TV series episode of all time. 4 points. How many people tuned into the finale, plus or minus 5 million?
You have an idea, don't you?
Yeah, I actually know it because I was just working on that book about TV stuff.
Oh.
So
how convenient
How
for us.
convenient for us. If you're good with me, we can lock in.
Neil's cheating at trivia by working at it.
By learning.
By learning. This isn't fair. I didn't know you could learn things. I've definitely heard this before. What do you think?
Well, I know that like people used to watch the same thing, right? Because there was like 5 channels. So the numbers were so much higher than they are today. So I'm trying to think of like a really highly watched episode today. What kind of like ballpark of number would that have? Because it's going to be like a lot higher than that, right?
I mean, tends to be, I think these days the Super Bowl is still kind of the big like event. And I feel like that might be approaching the 100 million mark for people watching. I wouldn't be surprised if MASH, often the trivia rule of thumb is, if you have to be within some, 5 million, that's a 10% margin of error.
Right.
People would guess 50, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little higher, 65, 70 million, maybe a little more than that.
Yeah. I would say like around 70 or 75. Yeah, I think so. Because
let's go 75.
Yeah.
We're going to say 75 million.
Wow.
And we had to be within like 1 or something, you said, or within 5?
Within 5.
Okay. I think rounded up, it's 106 million.
Whoa.
Yeah, and 105.9 million people tuned in, with an all-time high in the last 6 minutes, like 114. It was crazy. I think the most watched Super Bowl is only even like just breaking 100.
Yeah, it's pretty insane because I remember the top 6 is pretty interesting. It's MASH, Cheers with 80 million, and then The Fugitive TV series, Seinfeld, Friends, and then randomly Magnum PI with like 80 or something around
Magnum PI, huh?
Or 60, yeah.
All right, and then for the last question of round 1, it's richer than fiction. In The Hobbit, a book published in 1937, Smaug was a villain of legends, a stereotypical dragon who stole the wealth of the dwarves in the Lonely Mountain and then some. However, even his literal mountain's worth of gold is dwarfed by the number 1 richest fictional character of all time. Who is the richest fictional character? And bonus 5, first placement among the richest people in the world at $54.1 billion.
You think so?
I think I saw an article once that named this person as the richest, which I was like, "There's no way." But
are they assuming depth on the thing that he jumps in?
I think so. I think I could be way off, but I think it might
very specific.
Because originally I was thinking of when I looked at the list, right? I was like, "Oh, it's got to be
Donald Trump."
Right, exactly. It's got to be him, right? But then he wasn't even like in the top 10.
No, he's a scientist. They don't make that much money.
So I don't. How do you feel about the one I wrote down?
I like him.
Okay,
good guy.
All right, we'll lock it in.
Even more specific.
So I think, and this is what I thought before they started talking over there. Scrooge McDuck might be the richest.
He did say Scottish. He did say swimming in
subtle clues.
Swimming in coins.
That being said, if he had $54 billion, where would he be in the rankings? And so Elon Musk is approaching $200 billion. Jeff Bezos is plus $150 billion, something like that. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett are richer than that. I believe Carlos Slim is richer than that. Larry Ellison is about that point. Brin and Page are, I think, in the 40 billions. You've got...
Wow,
maybe
you've
they're a
really
little
been
higher.
doing the dreaming. Some dreaming.
No.
I mean, I would say top 10. I would say somewhere in the top 10.
I actually...
but, like, maybe not.
It might actually be
No.
outside the top 10 now. People
Is this
gained
adjusted
a
for
lot
inflation,
of...
or?
People gained a lot of wealth in the last 2 years.
By exploiting people.
Well, just by the nature of the pandemic,
By exploiting people.
It's generally how you
By
get there.
exploiting people.
I would say, why don't we just make it an even 10?
Okay.
Number 10?
Yeah, we went with Scrooge McDuck, obviously. And then, Matt, what number?
Probably, let's do 7.
7 sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so full points for Scrooge McDuck. And as of time of recording, he would be the 25th richest person in the world with $54 billion.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with money.
So Smog has money? It's
Well,
not just a
Just watch
Well,
the
it's
movies,
not. It's
man.
not liquid.
Yeah,
he
watch
has
the
to
movies.
convert
I mean,
it.
does he actually earn the money, or he's just a dragon,
he
though?
steals
Stole
it.
it.
Oh, what does he do with the money, though?
He just sits on it.
These are the same
He's
questions
a
I have for
dragon.
these
He
billionaires,
hoards. He
Neil.
hoards.
But he doesn't.
Just like Jeff Bezos.
He doesn't spend the money, though?
No, he loans it to you for a high
No, he-
interest rate.
Neither
Oh.
do
He
the
steals the
billionaires
things
that we
he
just
wants.
talked about.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
Yeah, Smog just steals the things he wants and goes on with his day. That's it.
All right, after the first round, looks like Neil Armstrong's follicles made their move. They're at 71 points. Omar's coming a little bit behind, 55 points. That can all be made up in the swing round. And I just want to let you know, Neil, I spelled Neil Armstrong's name incorrectly on my paper and spelled it your way.
Oh, thank you.
But
That's how it should have been spelled.
I should have fixed it. It was
He would have
an
gone to
accident.
Mars if it was NEAL.
All right, what's the swing round today?
All right, swing round is kind of simple. This is just going to test your concept of time. I'm going to give you a prompt and ask if the thing was before or after the year I say, and you're just going to tell me before or after. That's all it is. So say I'm going to say, COVID happened before or after 2019. Everyone would say after 2020. Yeah, that's it. It's the whole swing round.
All right.
So question 1 is, was YouTube released before or after the year 2008? Question 2 is, was Coke invented before or after the year 1900? Was Tesla founded before or after the year 2000? Was the Hubble telescope launched before or after 1989? Was the first Furby released before or after 1995? Was the Wii U released before or after 2014? Was Google released before or after 2003? Was the first printing press perfected before or after 1392? Was the iPhone 7 released before or after 2013? And was the first podcast released before or after 2007?
Awesome. So you guys have a 50-50 shot here. Given no knowledge on the subject, good luck, and we'll be right back.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Okay, all the answers are now locked in, and before we get to them, just wanted to send a big thank you to all our Patreon supporters, including Jack and Leann. They help us continue to grow the show, and right behind Jack right now we see one of our posters that he got for being a Savage Superstar, the video game version of our faces, which is always fun. It was one of our first art pieces that was made for us, but yeah, we really appreciate all of your support. We've been able to get new equipment and have more bonuses and all that good stuff, and there's just hours and hours of content on Patreon. And Ken, how do you feel about doing the crop drop every month?
Love the crop drop. I would do the crop drop all the time if I could, because it's so fun.
Yeah, that would maybe just be the full show.
Or like just joking around and answering people's questions.
Just letting our personality shine.
Yeah.
But alas, we must continue doing trivia.
But right, we have to provide trivia for the masses,
For
and
the
that's,
people.
Yep, and even if we're not good at it, sometimes we at least have to provide it. So that's what we try to do, and we can only do that with the help of our patrons. So if you'd like to join Jack and Leann, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast, and we would appreciate your support.
Triviality, trivia for the people. And on that note, we will move on to the answers of the swing round.
I didn't know we rebranded.
Yeah. Jack, or Jacked, can we get the questions one more time, and these guys will provide their answers?
Absolutely. All right. So question 1 was YouTube released before or after the year 2008?
I remember the first video being that guy at the zoo, and I think that was before, so we said before.
We also said before.
And before is correct, 2005.
It was all about the evolution of dance, Matt.
Question 2, was Coke invented before or after the year 1900?
We went with before.
We were also pretty sure this was before.
And before is correct, 1886. Was Tesla Motor Company founded before or after 2000?
This one, no idea on. We just guessed after.
We said after.
Yeah, after 2003.
Right.
Good job so far, guys.
Was the Hubble telescope launched before or after 1989?
I think I remember seeing something about Hale-Bopp being close to it, and I think that was around the same time. So we said before.
We said after.
Points to one team after in 1990.
Oh.
Ooh, really close.
Who had after?
We did. That was much closer than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the 90s, but barely.
So you guys got points.
We did, yes.
Okay.
Was the Furby released before or after 1995?
I remember this being the biggest toy of 98, I think. We said after.
We also remembered it being a little later than that, so we said after.
Yeah, 1998. It was indeed after. Was the Wii U released before or after 2014?
We were just going through the timeline and think that this was probably before.
We also said before.
Yep, before 2012.
I know there's quite a lot of conversation about that one.
That was a tough one, yeah.
Was Google released before or after 2003?
An interesting one for me and Neal, because we were trying to think of what did we use to Google before Google in high school, and we just kept asking Jeeves, and he wouldn't tell us, so we said after.
We were pretty sure that this was the late 90s, so we said before.
Go fetch Lycos.
Points to one team again. It was before 1998.
Wow.
We just really love Netscape Navigator, apparently.
Just never stopped navigating. Those Netscapes.
Was the first printing press perfected before or after 1392?
Who knows? We said after.
Someone.
Yeah, someone knows.
We said after also.
Yep, that one was kind of an easy one. It was after 1450.
I don't know if that was easy.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Was the iPhone 7 released before or after 2013?
Oh, geez. I mean, it's right around that time. We were counting forward from 2006 with the first iPhone, we think, and we landed on 2013, but we just said after.
Well, Jeff also did some counting, but he counted backwards, and he also came out with after.
Yeah, after is correct. 2016 was the iPhone 7. And then for the last question, was the first podcast released before or after 2007?
See, I remember listening to some Bill Simmons podcast, I believe, in 2006, so we said before.
We said after for this one, but we really weren't sure.
Points for only one team. 2004
Oh,
was
wow.
the first ever podcast.
We thought it was a lot closer to 2007.
I think it's funny the only one we got wrong was the podcast question.
Team OC, Omar's coming, doing very well in that swing round, only missing one. They're at 100 points total. Neal Armstrong, also a strong showing. They picked up 40 points, bringing their total to 111.
Isn't Team OC the first name of that Chalamet guy?
Team OC? What is it? I don't understand.
That's just pretty funny.
Timothy.
Timothy.
I see.
Funny guy over here.
Okay, so question number 1 for round 2 is a weird series of events. According to Newton's third law of motion, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Such as this bizarre one that has probably affected you in ways you aren't even aware of. Gerard Way started the band My Chemical Romance based off of tragedies he witnessed in 2001. Stephanie Meyer, with a dream and a bout of inspiration from MCR, wrote Twilight. Then, Twilight inspired the 5th best-selling book of all time. What is the name of the book, eventually series, that Twilight inspired?
The Bible.
You can lock in.
Oh yeah. Cheers.
All right, so I believe this is Matt's favorite book, 50 Shades of Grey.
It started as a fan fiction of Twilight, and then they said, you know what, let's make new characters that are the same characters and release it as a book.
Yeah, so we're going to lock in with that.
I think, Leann, you had this one right away, too?
Yeah, we also said 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, the librarian coming in strong.
And 50 Shades of Grey is correct. This is probably my most favorite, cause and effect that's ever happened. It's just so weird to tell people this. So for question number 2, we have the MCU Empire. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, spanning over currently 4 phases starting in 2007, are nothing short of an intellectual property empire. With titans such as the new and improved Spider-Man series and the brought-to-light Guardians of the Galaxy, it even boasts the highest-grossing movie of all time. What is this movie?
I always get mixed up between the two, but...
And Neil, I could be wrong, but it's domestically, right? Because
I believe
worldwide, it's still the one with the blue people.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smurfs World Tour?
Avatar.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm fine with that one.
How is James Cameron that successful?
We're locked in over here.
I think it's either, and I should know this, but I'm pretty sure it's either Infinity War or Endgame, because I'm almost positive it's one of the two. Do you want to go Endgame? Because I think I saw that one a couple times.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems like the obvious answer, and I feel like I'm getting tricked into the obvious answer. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Endgame was the last movie I remember being one of those that people lined up for and had to see at midnight, because I did, and I never do that. So we went with Endgame.
Yeah, and sometimes it is the obvious answer. Avengers Endgame is the correct answer. Question 3, current vocabulary. Many sayings and words have been recycled and made anew over the years of the internet's birth. BM no longer means bowel movements, it means bad manners in video games. Cool beans has been phased out almost entirely and now used only ironically. In 2010, an old legend was reborn. After a blooper in a video, Ryan Gutex Gutierrez reacted in a very memeable way, giving way to the still used but now altered Twitch emote named Blank Champ. Fill in the blank, where it's based off a 90s game also commonly known as Milk Caps.
Okay, Matt and I discussed, and we were having a lot of trouble with this one, even though we think we know what it's talking about.
Yeah,
So
internet culture is usually my wheelhouse, but I got nothing on
I think we're just now, we realize we're getting older, and Jack has just showed us that we are. So.
I'm a Twitch streamer myself.
You are.
I have no emotes. I can't figure it out.
Well, with no emotes, we're just going to say we're locked in.
I got nothing.
Good game. Like good game, GG, good game.
Sure. We can say good game, champ.
Go for it. Why not?
GG, no re. We got it.
Yeah, I think in the Milk Cap game from the 90s, I'm pretty sure that's referring to Pogs, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh.
But then we couldn't figure out what you do in
loved
Pogs.
Pogs.
So I've never actually played the game. I know you smash a thing, so we said Smasher Champ.
You talked yourself out of it. It was just Pog Champ. Yeah, so it's just based off the 90s game called Pogs, where you take cardboard cutouts and throw something heavy on them and flip them over. I have no idea why that was a popular game, but yeah, Pog Champ was released was made again in 2010. People just commonly say Pog now.
I was just in Pogs for the collecting. I wasn't playing anything. I just wanted to collect all the shiny ones.
Mm-hmm.
I did have I had a binder with all the Pogs in them, but we did play a little bit.
Yeah, all of your Lisa Frank Pogs.
Just to be clear, that's Pogs Pogs.
Yes, Pog's Champ, all one word.
Just wanted to make sure. Wasn't the other one?
Oh yeah, no, that's in the Patreon only game.
Yes, correct.
So for question 4, old people hate plants. Okay, the title is misleading, but here we go anyways. In the objectively amazing series Avatar: The Last Airbender, the gang goes through their adventures, sometimes inconveniencing people in their way. One such honest businessman is in their path one too many times, trying to peddle his one and only ware. So while not the only iceberg that Aang breaks, what leafy green was he trying to peddle when he was in their way?
Have you seen the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I did not.
We don't speak
I didn't either. Oh, this wasn't in it? Okay.
So we just got to think of a leafy green. So maybe we'll just pick one that seems like it would be in an anime.
Got your kale. You got your
spinach.
I was thinking spinach.
Spinach Man?
Oh, maybe he's some sort of Popeye character.
That would make sense.
Yeah. It would? Okay.
I don't know. Why not? It's anime.
It's spinach.
We'll say spinach.
I'm not familiar with this at all, but I was just writing down greens. I had kale and spinach that you guys said. I also wrote down bok choy.
Ooh.
Bok choy man.
Bok choy man sounds like a great superhero in One Punch.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, or maybe he was a tea vendor. But
is tea leafy? I mean,
yeah,
a leafy
tea leaves, right?
I guess so.
Green tea. That's got to be something, right?
Not like
it's got to be something.
Right? I really don't know.
I mean, kale. We can go with kale man.
Sure.
Sounds good.
So we got a spinach and a kale. Was it a cabbage man?
It was cabbages.
Oh,
But yeah, person of the
cabbage
team.
man.
Not the only iceberg that he breaks is trying to go for lettuce, cabbage there, but yeah.
Oh, good clue. I did not even put that together. Yeah.
Clues are not helpful when you know nothing about the subject.
Exactly.
I know that through like memes, not even from seeing the show.
That he has cabbage.
There's a cabbage.
Yeah,
guy.
it's like 4 or 5 times. He just runs straight through his cart and he yells, "My cabbages!" just every single time.
I love anime.
Question 5, top sellers. There's no doubt about it. Video games have changed the world, springing up competitive tournaments, letting players of all skill levels stream and make content as their main careers, and even springing off into movies and TV shows. We all know some of the classics, anywhere from Pong to Call of Duty. However, some games are even more popular than the rest. 4 points. Name the 3 best-selling single-game titles of all time, released in 2011, 2013, and 1984, respectively.
All right. We wrote down some titles here. We think we're kind of close, so we're going to lock in.
All right, Leann and I took a while discussing these. We're kind of a little lost, but we ended up settling on Tetris, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Grand Theft Auto 5 as our guesses.
We went with the OG Super Mario Brothers just because of it being with the system. We thought maybe that one was pretty big. I wrote down San Andreas or Vice City, but Matt said he thinks GTA 4 was bigger, right? GTA 4?
I think there was GTA 4, which I think was San Andreas, and then they released GTA 4 again. I don't remember exactly what it is, but this was like another game. So we said GTA 4.
And then we went with Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
So no points, but Omar was pretty close there. Number 1 was Minecraft. Number 2 is GTA 5, and number 3 is Tetris.
I can't believe we didn't come up with Minecraft. It didn't even occur to me because it's not a video game on a console.
You can.
It's on
It's on every single console.
Yeah,
I have
it's on
every
everything.
single
Yeah,
edition.
I always just
yeah,
think of
it's
it as a
definitely one
PC
that
game.
I was too late for. Yeah, definitely. But so it was. I'm sorry. It was GTA 5, Minecraft, and what was the
number 1 Minecraft,
Tetris.
number 2 GTA 5, number 3 Tetris.
Oh, so we did have 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah, well, you guys both got 20 points in the first half of the second round, bringing the totals for Omar to 120 and Neil Armstrong 131.
So an actually close game.
Question 6, embarrassing mix-up. So I have something to confess. Until Neil recently published his book, for some reason I thought Neil Patrick Harris and Patrick Swayze were the same person. So, in honor of my mistake, here's a How I Met Your Mother question. The bro code is something that is brought up very often in the show, written by Barney with a series of rules that should be followed by all bros. What is rule number 1?
So we wrote down a bunch of options here. A lot of them not aging well, kind of like the show.
Bro code might not be as well received in 2022 as it did in 2007.
Yeah, the first one we wrote down I think is definitely not good. So we're going to go with our second option here and lock in.
So I believe this is Don't Feed Them After Midnight. No, that's something different. No. What do you think, Leann?
I've seen all of the show, and I'm not coming up with anything. I mean, I'm with them that it's something that probably sound really cringy. Helping a bro, or like not interfering with another bro when he's trying to hook up with a girl or something like that. But
Yeah. Tragically, the ones that had come to mind are like, the classic bros before hoes. I know. Unfortunately, we were all teetering around that one, which could have made that show. I don't. No bro left behind.
we could say never block a bro. I feel like it's something like that, but I don't know for sure. I can't believe I've seen all of this show and I've got nothing, but what a waste of my time.
No blocking of the bro.
No blocking of the bros.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think our instinct was right on what number one probably is, which they said, which is probably bros before hoes, but we thought maybe it was don't leave a bro behind.
Yeah, you guys shouldn't have talked yourselves out of it. It was just bros before hoes. Probably the cringiest thing I've ever said in middle school.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunate. I think that show was successful in like their friends group being realistic and like kind of inviting the viewer into it.
Right.
But apart from that, like, yeah, a lot of this stuff doesn't age well.
All right. Question 7. It wouldn't hurt a fly. Humans are always striving forwards to look at and be places they just have no right to be. Elon Musk put a car into space in 2018. Scott Kelly, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, Mikhail Koryenko, returned to Earth from a 1-year bout to the ISS in 2016. And the first ever orbit and landing of a comet happened in 2014. However, that's not what I need to know today. 4 points. What internet adored rover landed on Mars in 2012 and is still operational to this day?
What's his name? Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay, we think we got it. We're going to lock in.
Is this Curiosity?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the one that went there before Curiosity. I think Pathfinder was way older though. So I think we'll say.
Yeah, the internet adored part. I think Curiosity sounds right.
Yeah, he sings himself happy birthday. Not he, they. Sorry.
Yeah.
We knew this from the fact that the rover has killed so many cats. So we said Curiosity.
Yeah, like I said, it wouldn't hurt a fly. Curiosity rover was put down in 2012. And little known fact, it actually only sang happy birthday to itself once. It's only done that once. People just think it does it every year. All right, question 8. 2020, the most confusing year. 2020 was nothing short of a year filled with once-in-a-lifetimes. We all know the not-so-amazing things, so let's focus on the good. Pope Benedict XVI becomes the longest living pope since 1903. Africa is officially declared free of wild polio, and astronomers find the first black hole in a star system that's visible to the naked eye. Another great step forward in human rights also comes in the form of which Central American country being the first to legalize same-sex marriage?
Yeah, so I wrote down that were some places that were definitely in South America, and Matt corrected me, and he wrote down an answer that I like, so I'll let him say it when we lock in.
I mean, there's a couple of countries that I feel like it's just less likely to be.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe Costa Rica.
I was also thinking Costa Rica. I didn't think it was Honduras or Guatemala. Nicaragua didn't strike me.
El Salvador,
Didn't strike
I don't
me
think
as-
so.
Nope. And
At least
I don't think
Panama.
we're going Panama for the memes. So I think we got all of the Central American countries. But my gut's at Costa Rica.
Okay.
Costa Rica, we're going to lock
These
in.
two named a lot of Central American countries.
They did, and Costa Rica is an interesting guess because of the conglomerate. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah. That they're all in the coffee belt, so
Yeah.
you've heard of all these countries actually. So we didn't know, and we just said maybe it's Guatemala. I like Guatemala.
Yeah, with their amazing Central American geography, Costa Rica was the first Central American country.
Nice.
They're creeping up. The OC is.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's more we're fading.
We're fading. Yeah, we're fading.
You sound so defeated. The game's not even over.
We're floating in space like
Also,
Neil
we're
Armstrong.
1 point
You're
behind.
still up. You only lost one question.
Remember when we used to get questions right now?
There's really no fade.
Are you talking about one question ago?
Yeah.
All right, 2009. Yep. Round 2, question 9. All good things must come to an end. So just how we are nearing the end of our questions, so in 2021 did some major things also end. The era of Alex Trebek was brought to a graceful end. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West got divorced, and a particular band was finally broken up. After 28 years of music and tours, which electronic music group finally broke up in late 2021?
Leann, we can lock in.
Oh, such a sad video.
I'm going to pour one out right now.
28 years.
I mean, it's got to be if he's saying electronic. I mean, did Daft Punk break up? Because that'd be really sad. It's two guys, and if they broke up, I mean, what hope do we have?
That's fair. I don't remember this happening.
I don't remember electronic group.
Yeah, let's go with Daft Punk. Maybe they're done.
Yeah, hopefully not, but they might be.
Such a sad video they released.
But
also hopeful.
I'm really sad, actually, not for my loss of Daft Punk, but that my friends don't remember the mourning period that I went through when this happened. We said Daft Punk.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Daft Punk broke up at the very end of 2021.
How am I just hearing about this now?
Do you guys not remember when Ken and I came in wearing all black and being all sad about it?
I thought it was a normal Sunday.
At that point, though, I wouldn't call it a breakup so much as a retirement.
Yeah, because
okay.
They're still friends.
They're hanging up the headphones.
So yeah, it's Daft Punk, right?
Yeah, they actually heard my previous question. I had electronic duo written down, but I was like, that would be too obvious. I can't write duo.
That would have been too obvious.
Yeah, you heard past me. All right, final question of round 2. The funniest war. As of June 14th, 2022, my personal favorite war finally came to a peaceful conclusion. In a territorial dispute between Canada and Denmark over the Hans Island, starting in 2005, each country would go to the small island, plant a flag of their country, leave a bottle of liquor behind, along with some sort of short and sweet note. What cleverly named war was this?
You know what I like about this game? All the questions are around like pretty popular trivia questions, but from a different angle. You know what I mean? Just asking a slightly different question about some popular topics, which is really neat.
What were the 2 countries?
Canada and Denmark.
I have no idea. I've never heard of this story either. I don't even know how I didn't know Daft Punk retired or broke up. So let's just go with your answer, because I should just be shot out to space because I don't know what I'm doing here.
Go hang out with Curiosity.
Yeah.
Gonna go around the world.
We're locked in with an answer.
No, I vaguely recall the thing about the bottle of alcohol. That seems to ring some sort of bell to me. I'm wondering, like, if maybe there was something about, like, what kind of alcohols they were leaving.
I think so, because I think it was whiskey. I think this was the whiskey war.
Do you think Denmark makes whiskey?
I don't know if they do. I think Canada might have been the one leaving that bottle, but I kind of remember hearing this recently. Because it was like the last unsettled bit of like NATO. Like NATO was like, I guess if we're going to accept new people, we should get our act together. And, they buried the hatchet. So
I'm fine with that.
Okay. We're going to go whiskey war.
That sounds fun. We had no idea. I think it might have something to do with the fact that I haven't eaten yet. But we locked in with something that sounds delicious, the Maple Danish War.
I wish it was named that. Yeah, the whiskey war or the liquor war. From 2005 to 2022, they would just go rip up the other person's flag, put down a bottle of liquor and a passive aggressive note, and go back in typical Canadian and Denmarkian fashion.
Well, at the conclusion of regulation, it looks like Neil Armstrong's follicles fading fast in the second round, fading so fast. They have 151, taking a slight lead. Omar's coming 160.
Oh, Omar's gone. They passed out.
Omar came and then he went.
Yeah.
And in typical Omar fashion, the other person is way worse for the wear.
And let's see what our categories are for the final.
Question 1 would be enigmatology, the study of puzzles; entomology, the study of insects; etymology, the study of words; Egyptology, the study of ancient Egypt; and exogeology, the study of celestial bodies.
The wagers are locked in, and it looks like everybody's pushing the chips onto the table, 30s all the way down. Neil Armstrong's follicles, if they blow it completely, they get 1 point left. So we'll see what happens. Let's have the questions.
All right, question number 1 under the study of puzzles. Alexander the Great was certainly that indeed. Through his practical knowledge of combat and politics, he conquered the battlefield in the mere room he was in, including the puzzle that supposedly brought him his power over Greece. According to legend, what did Alexander cut in half, a supposed impossible puzzle? In the study of insects, bees are an amazing and important species to our world.
From being beads or bees?
Bees. Bees are an amazing and important species to our world. From being intelligent enough to use their own bodies as a form of measurement, called festooning, to pollinizing millions of plants a year. With their natural instincts for math and science, it is clear to see that they would use only the most efficient shape for their honeycombs. What is the efficient shape that they use? In the study of words. As everyone knows, the English language is just multiple other languages taped together in a trench coat, including some of the more scientific words, like various phobias, for example, such as the word for the fear of holes, where its roots come from the Greek language. What is the word for fear of holes?
You have that, Ken.
In the study of ancient Egypt is never talked about enough. With its amazing feats of engineering, its vast borders and the height of its power, and the immense mythos, with gods and goddesses such as Ra and Osiris, one such god has been used for a Marvel comic book character who very recently got his own TV series. Moon Knight, a mercenary with a powerful suit of armor, enacts the will of a witch moon god. And in the study of celestial bodies. To give scientists credit, I'm sure after a few billion planets and stars, naming can become a bit difficult. However, I will never excuse the fact that our own Earth is the only planet in the solar system not named after some Roman god like the rest are. With that small rant aside, however, let's go back to these Greek roots that the Roman gods came from. What are the Greek equivalents of the planets in our solar system, Pluto included? Points for 3 named.
Those are the questions, and we'll be right back with the answers. Voodoo. The answers are now in. Some interesting stuff going on, so let's see how this works out, because the game's up in the air. So let's have the questions one more time.
Yeah, for question 1, what did Alexander the Great cut in half, this supposedly impossible puzzle?
Yeah, so this one took us a minute, but then once Jeff hit on it, we were like, yeah, that's the answer. We said not.
Not. Oh, like K-N-O-T?
Like K-N-O-T, yes.
Well, we also had not the right answer because we said Pandora's box. We
Yeah,
don't
why
know.
not? He just cut it open.
He just sliced it open.
From OC, can I get something a little bit more specific? It has an
Is
actual name to it.
Is it a Gordian knot?
I think Leann's got it.
That's correct. The Gordian knot.
Nice pull.
Wow. That's probably what I need massaged out of my shoulders after recording.
For the study of insects, bees are amazing, as we all know, but what is the most efficient shape that they use for their honeycombs?
So I think I was way off on this one, and Matt was making fun of me. So in high school, when I was a freshman, I was on the golf team for like 2 months. And I was curious about
Picture Neal golfing.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And I found a little book on how to make golf balls, and I was like, well, the triangle is so strong of a shape with weight and whatnot, disbursement. I was like, why don't golf balls have triangles instead of circles on them? And the whole golf team made fun of me, and I quit. So
Yeah.
Matt was like, I don't think it's a triangle.
And I kept saying hexagon over and over, and you're like, I don't know, triangles. Have you heard about triangles? Triangles. We said hexagon because I think that's the right answer.
Yeah, I believe Jack and I do have some overlap in interest here. There's a CGP Grey video called Hexagons Are Bestagons. I think the argument could be made that they're just bad at making circles, but we locked in at hexagon, which is the platonic shape with the most sides that interlocks with itself.
Yeah, hexagons are the bestagons, one of my favorite CGP Grey videos. Yeah, hexagons are the what bees use, or just crappy circles. So,
shots fired. Bees come at me. They do anyway, so.
In the study of words, what is the word for fear of holes?
We locked in with trypophobia.
Oh, we knew this one right away. I mean, Matt and I were talking about holes for at least 5 minutes.
Holes for minutes. The classic Shia-la-phobia, we said.
Points for one team, trypophobia.
Oh,
wow.
So close.
Incredible
I
pull.
think they should get points for that magnificent joke, though.
You have to sing it. Shia-la-phobia.
When you're alone in the woods. Okay, so the study of ancient Egypt. Moon Knight, which moon god does he enact the will of?
This one, I've never seen the show. I know the comic book character, and I was going to write a question about it, and I couldn't remember if it was Shu Cone or Cone Shu. But I was like, Shu Cone sounds too similar to Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat, so I just said, I think it's Cone Shu.
That's why.
Oh, I thought it started with a K, but I think this might be an emperor or pharaoh. We guessed Khufu.
Points for one team. It's Khonshu is how it's pronounced. But yeah, Khonshu is the correct god.
Darn it.
Thank you for your mercy there on Khonshu.
Yeah, I understood what you're saying.
Did you spell it C-O-N-E, shoe?
Yeah.
That's what those elves are.
It's Neil's second
cone
favorite
shoes.
type of pastry.
Yes.
And then the last question in the study of celestial bodies. What are the Greek equivalents of the planets in our solar system, Pluto included? You only need 3 of them for points.
So Jeff really wants us to flex and name all of them, but I'm just going to say 3. We've got Venus is Aphrodite, Mars is Ares, and Neptune is Poseidon.
Oh, Poseidon.
Forgot about Poseidon.
Yeah, Poseidon.
Poseidon. He's always underwater.
We got Mars, I believe, is Aries. I think Mercury is Hermes, so we said Hermes, and then we weren't sure on the other one, so we just said Zeus is probably one of them.
Could you be more specific on which one Zeus is?
Can we?
Oh, what's the biggest planet? Jupiter or Uranus? It's got to be the biggest one, right? Because it's Zeus. So want to go
that's not usually
Jupiter.
how
He's probably Jupiter.
Yeah, we'll do Jupiter.
I think Uranus.
He's got big Jupiter energy.
I think Uranus is a trick because Uranus is Greek.
Yeah, with an amazing pool, Jupiter is Zeus. Uranus is technically Uranus in Greek. Pluto is Hades. And I think you guys named all the rest of them. I don't know. I'm really not that good at
I think we
planets.
missed.
What was
We never
Saturn?
figured out Saturn. Yeah.
Oh, Saturn is Kronos. He's not actually technically a god. He's a titan.
Titan, yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, a close final round to conclude the game. Looks like Neil Armstrong did show up in the final, gaining 30 points to bring their total to 181. But just a little stronger, the OC, Omar Zakaman, 250 points to end the game. You guys are the cream of the crop.
Cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Great game, both
This
of you.
applause
Yeah,
is for Leann, not me.
we faded away so hard, but
No.
That was,
You
were
literally
Steph
missed.
Curry, you were fading so
You
hard.
literally missed 2 questions that they didn't.
Seriously,
get,
in the
so.
final, yeah.
Faded.
It seemed.
Much like my follicles, we have faded behind.
well, my favorite version of Faded is by Soul Decision, a boy band from
Oh
Canada.
my God! Thank you. I want a high five for that. That's
Yes.
a great call.
Enough nonsense from us, though.
Yeah, enough about us being a boy band. So, Jack, thank you very much for writing this game and putting together all these wonderful questions that span so many different decades. Any final words from you? Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? All that good stuff.
First off, thank you to Louie on the Discord, the Playtester Pro, for helping me out with a lot of this. Thank you for my friends and family who I forced to listen to every single question about 6 times. And shout out to the Patreon, because otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your support. And Leann, you emailed us. This isn't really true, but you said you wanted to crush us, but we're just going to make it fact now. So you did crush us. Thank you for joining us, for being a Patreon supporter. Any final words from you as well?
I just want to say thank you to my husband for managing to keep the kids quiet while I did this, which is not an easy feat. And we said it at the beginning, but I just want to say it again, support your local library, especially books and programming featuring people of color and people in the LGBTQ community. They're really coming under fire right now. They could use your support. Be vocal about it.
Well said.
Well said. Well, thank you both for joining us today. Anything else here in the studio, or
No.
No.
That's it.
that's
got
it?
nothing.
Let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone for listening and for everyone who supports us. For Matt, Ken, Jeff, Jack, Leann, my name is Neil. Jacked. My name is Neil, and that was Triviality. It's either got to be that or something to do with like a ritual, that they would do to
Potpourri.
Yeah, they're making potpourri for all their monk
Activities.
bedside tables.
Yeah.
Monk farts.
Let's just go with it. Monk farts.
New team name I called it.
Let's just go with that.
Photoshop that, Jeff.
We know they used it for fireworks, but they weren't trying to make fireworks, so we'll go with Matt's answer here.